Hello, good morning. Today is October 28th at 7:43 a.m. It's 2025 at 7:43 a.m. So I woke up this morning. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. Welcome back. Thank you for returning, and I appreciate you watching my content. I hope that you learn things from what I'm about to say today. So today, like I said, I had this content done before and I lost it. So it's been about 2 weeks now, but I woke up this morning and I was actually thinking about spiritual rank. So, which is strange because I remembered about when I was told about the calling last night, and then it just kind of continued on when I woke up. So, anyway, I did this video about VRIL lizards, okay? And I started here with this little picture so that we have something to look at in the beginning, okay? So if you don't know, all right, if you put in your search bar about VRIL lizards or VRIL parasite, which is what most people are going to encounter when you first hear this word, you'll know it from the VRIL Society. Okay, but this is okay. I'm going to add probably that little part. I've done about the Thule and Vril Society. This is why they have long hair and all that, okay? But it has nothing to do with Vril parasite lizards whatsoever. This, I truly believe, is false. And even if you look down at the bottom of the comments of this, and we're going to, it says that there is some truth. And that's because this is just kind of like a darker spirit inhabiting the body, and your lower aspects of self are going to be more vulnerable, so they're going to like attach to that. You see what I'm saying? So if you have a weakness that says for you to deceive and make up stories and say stuff happened to you that didn't, and these things like that in order to get attention or blah 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 blah, this is part of it. Okay, there are a group of beings that oppose deception. Okay, that message was given to us a long time ago. I actually thought that it was about like the government and such, but it actually has to do with people like this. You know, people saying that they're representatives like Elena Denon, because this Vril lizard thing is in her book. And it has the exact same chocolate chip. That's what it's called. Little chocolate chip. Yesterday I called it a chicken nugget and laughed so hard. But a chocolate chip on their head. Okay, which is like a little worm that comes out with their consciousness in it, and then their physical lizard body dies, which doesn't make sense to me because it says that a lot of these beings are highly in love with themselves. So why would they want to give up their physical vessel for a disgusting human one? It doesn't make any sense, because they don't like us, right? So why would they want to look like us and be us and give up their own bodies? It doesn't make any sense. They have a high arrogance type of thing. Like, we're the best, we look the best and all that. So why would they want to be human, first of all? So basically, this is called an interterrestrial, but interterrestrial, again, isn't real. This is a spiritual thing, okay? Now, this would be inside, but this has to do with like darker forces. Again, we're dealing with principalities in the spiritual warfare. Remember I told you about that? I read it so many times. It's from the Bible. We're not fighting against. This is really annoying. But anyway, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will put it up on the screen because I can't be bothered to go look for it. And that's what it means. So we're not fighting the physical human force. We're fighting the spiritual force behind it, because that's really what happens. Life kind of darkens the heart in some people. Like, think about Corey Good. He had a terrible childhood. Lots of people were mean to him, and it makes them angry at people. Okay? So there's a group of spiritual beings that are also angry and hateful of humanity, mostly because we replaced them here. All right? And it's just difficult, because we are a different type of being. And technically, they do have other skills and stuff that would make them seem a lot more interesting, that's for sure, but it does not mean that we are less than, right? We all have different skills and abilities as the children of creation. Okay, so let's see. So, all right, before we go any further, if you look up the words, see, I put in VRIL, prana, energy, chi, life force, Christ, Krishna. Okay, the other one you put VRIL lizard or VRIL parasite, VRIL reptilian, or whatever, and you'll all come up with the VRIL lizard shit. But if you put that in, VRIL, prana, and chi are all terms that refer to a universal life force energy believed to flow through all human beings, like the living waters, like we talked about with the Claustrom's oil video that I just did, influencing physical, mental, and spiritual health. Again, long hair, healthy, looking younger than your age. In various traditions, such as Hinduism and Buddhism, prana is seen as vital energy that sustains life, while qi is essential, and it's essential to Chinese medicine. Sorry, I screwed up my words there. And both concepts share similarities with spiritual ideas found in Christianity, such as the Holy Spirit. Now, again, the Bible is symbolism and allegory. What do Kabbalistic Jews do? Symbolism and allegory through storytelling and such. That's why I told you the Bible's all symbolism and allegory. Once you watch the Claustrom's Oil playlist, you realize what they've done. So they hide all of these things in the Bible, because it was a creation. It was to hide this. Everything that's done, you can actually put Kundalini in that as well. Krishna, Christ, life force, Kundalini, all of that, okay? Now, if you just scroll down, look at Chi, Prana, Vril, Orgon, Holy Spirit, life force, etheric energy. Now, as within, so without. So you have this vital life force inside of you. What do you think the aether is? It's the vital life force outside of you. The God outside of you. The general operating director outside of you. This is how the divine creator creates. Okay? Through a physical plasma to a non-physical plasma. Etheric energy is non-physical, right? But when it comes into use, it becomes plasma. Okay. So if you keep going down, you're going to see, look, exploring the sacred connection between Virilism and Hinduism. Of course, all religions are made up, okay, as a way to help explain what we're doing here and existence and all that. Now, I'm not saying that, because all of them have stuff that you can learn from, right? But it's all the same source. It all comes from the creation of mankind. So, I mean, in Hinduism, they have in India like a caste system and everything like that. It is not as great as it seems. And this is what I'm saying. Like, there's always a downfall. So if you think you're going to harness this energy by being some type of yogi Hindu, you are wrong. There's lots of men and women that have lived and died, become old, and had nothing actually happen. This is because it has a mind, heart, body connection. So it has many different connections, and a lot of it has to do with belief. So your belief from the power of your heart powers a lot of this. Okay, so I don't know if you're looking down the list as I'm scrolling, but look, Chi Prana, the science of life force energy, the power of life force energy. VRIL energy, universal life force that unites body, spirit, and cosmos. I had to click on it to see what it said. Body, spirit, and the cosmos. So it's matter, body is material, spirit, non-material. Like I was just talking to you about the aether. Material, non-material. You have to unite these two things. And this is what all the solar beings, the aliens, quote unquote, have done, which are not aliens. And like I was mentioning with spiritual rank, it doesn't actually matter what you look like. It doesn't matter if you're a reptile creature or a fairy or a human. It all is the same. Okay? We all have the same, within the time that we are here in existence, we all have the same opportunity to realize and resurrect, resurrect this power within us, because it only lies dormant. They can only do, and they, meaning the dark side, because pretty much everything in this world is meant to poison us, including the freaking air and the Wi-Fi spiritual energy that runs through the air. Everything on frequency, energy, and vibration, it's meant to make us ill. This is why they took away all the bells and everything and the healing energies, and they hijacked the aether and turned it against us. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it only takes, and again, this has to do with the chakras and all of that. A lot of people think this is evil, but no, it even talks about this in the Bible. It's just coded symbolism and allegory. Okay? So we're going to go back to this. Here we are. Study on VRIL lizards, which again is fake. It's not real. You can find a lot of people. Donald Marshall is a big pusher of this, and he's been out since like 2011, 2012. Trust me, if it's been said, I've heard it. So they're even saying that Atlas 31 is going to come here with a bunch of reptilians, and they're coming here for the star seeds. But do you even know what your star seed is? It happens to be the Claustrum's oil. Your seed is your seed of Christ. If people would watch that and stop getting so all bajiggity about, oh, it's unchristian. Christianity's not real. It's fake. Mary, Jesus, and Joseph has to do with the Claustrum's oil. So if you don't listen, then you're willfully ignorant, and you will be reincarnated here. This is the prison planet. This stuff will keep you in here. Okay? I will make a little video. Look, this is what this fella, he thinks that is a little reptilian lizard. Okay? There's been so many charlatans, people that have put monkeys and fish together and all kinds of stuff. Look at him. He's got like some type of mummy in the background. Guaranteed that's bullshit. This thing looks like a fucking lobster. You know what I mean? Mm-mm. And look, this is a fake news picture. That's not from the news. They put that there. This right here is CG. Okay? It's not real. Those aren't real pictures. That looks like a fucking lobster. Okay? Again, these long neck things, Elena Danone calls them the mitra, M-A-T-R-E or something. Look at the neck. It's the exact same as in her book. Exactly the same, except for slight differences with the eyes and such. But pretty much same long neck type of creature. And they're saying they're carnivorous, they're grays, all this kind of stuff, okay? So this VRIL droning thing, this is exactly what Ishmael Perez said happened to Elena Danone, but it's not true. Nothing took her over. Only her ego took her over. These sick-ass people, okay, they have orgies with men and women alike, and then they beat each other up. They have violence. So they probably have gay sex and then punch each other in the fucking eye, you guys. You don't understand how degenerate and disgusting these people are. But they don't need any kind of parasite. I mean, they may be infested with the spirit of darkness. You know what I mean? Like, just evil from being evil and selfish and greedy and fucked up. You know? And choosing to be that way. It isn't anything that makes them this way. They're not under some fucking spell. They make a goddamn choice. Okay? Again, look at this. Like, I can't even bother. So I remember back in when Donald Trump first got into office and Q was all that. And that was going around a lot on that about VRIL eye droning lizards. And they literally had a fake video that was a video where it was a man in Africa. And yeah, there are some crazy ass eye parasites and shit in other countries, okay? Just because it isn't in North America or whatever doesn't mean it doesn't exist somewhere else. And this fellow was from Africa, and he was having an eye parasite removed. These bastards played the video backwards to make it seem like the doctor was putting the parasite in the eye. Okay? Yeah, I saw this years ago. And then I found the source of the video. Unfortunately, you can't even do a search on Telegram without paying now. So, like, You have to pay money to be able to find shit. Because I've tried to look for this on there and I can't. Like, it will not bring anything out of it. It brings like the pages that I follow and messages. So I can't do a large grade search like I used to, because they want like, I don't know, a couple dollars a month or whatever. And I'm not signing up for that. But it did used to go around a lot on Telegram. And this was something that, they were fooling people with for quite a while. These people are just sexually degenerate. You have to remember that this is why when they get really rich, like, you can't buy happiness. You can't buy real friends. You can't buy love. You know what I mean? So they have to do things like this. Is just a ritual. This has nothing to do with any real lizard, okay? They do these types of rituals where people are blindfolded and then they're taken into the organization after the blindfold's taken off. So, I mean, it's false. I think that it's a lot of ignorance that has to do with people don't actually know what's going on in there, like, yeah, there's a lot of fucked up shit. There are most likely clones and different things like that. Okay, that they use for sex and all kinds of other things, I'm sure. Human hunting parties and all kinds of stuff. But these people are just evil. You know what I mean? They're just sick and evil. That's all it is. They don't need any type of alien or reptilian person. They're just really fucked up people naturally. Look how old this motherfucker's gotten. He probably learned about the Claustrom's oil too late, and then they get angry. They want to take it out on others so that they don't get it either. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that, these old men and women. But it doesn't have anything to do with any kind of parasite. Nothing. And this fella is Donald Marshall, who's been spouting this bullshit for years. There may be some small amount of truth to it, but it has to do with a spiritual source. Look, I can confirm that there is at least partial truth to this, which I agree. I have experienced things going on into my ear, but again, these are spirits of darkness speaking to you. That's what they say. The demons will speak in your ear or whatever. This is the same type of thing. And these beings are the same type that will go to people like Corey Good and be like, yeah, you're the ambassador. You know the best. Everything. Tell them that this and that and blah, 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 and the Anshar and da, 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 da. They encourage people to lie, and it makes them seem like they're powerful. True power is knowing that you can hurt someone, but you don't. You understand? Knowing that you could do it, but you fucking don't. That is true strength. Okay? Mostly what's going on is people like Corey Good are getting the secret teachings of all ages, finding this black magic shit, and then just harming people. And that is because they are being influenced by a spirit that they think is their friend. You see? A lot of these beings will bond with the person because, and I mean, it's partially happened to me, so this is how I know how I can tell you. They just didn't get that far with me. So, you feel lonely, you feel isolated from your fellow man and woman. Corey Good has admitted to having a hard life. This is why. It makes you a little bitter and angry about it. It hurts. Why me? Why did it have to happen to me? Why was everybody so mean to me? Yeah, it's really difficult to deal with. It is. Like, I've had to live with it myself. Like, I wondered, like, what did I do to have my parents beat on me for 17 years and treat me like that and talk down to me? You know what I mean? Just trying to break the spirit. You can darken the heart. You see? And this is what makes you susceptible to these things. No matter what happens to me, my heart doesn't go dark. That's the thing. My light side always wins. My dark side's very powerful. The Asura is extremely dangerous, but I always have to keep it in check. Right? I had to understand what it was, and that's none of your business. You need to stay out of it because that's for the individual to deal with, right? Telling people stuff like this, especially when they're in it, they're going to reject you. And this is why all these people that I've tried to warn, like Corey Good, David Wilcock, Elena Danaan, even Claudio Nocelli, okay? They're going to have to learn it on their own, or they won't. They'll recognize stuff isn't right, or they won't. Maybe because they choose to. Maybe because this is what they want. Like Elena Danaan wants an extraterrestrial husband. So this thing will be whatever she needs it to be. Soul collectors are very, very tricky. And they could say, well, you know, I'll be your husband, I love you, but really they just want to keep you in their collection. You see what I'm saying? So it's very dangerous and very tricky. Um, but yeah, so, okay, let me see. Yeah, the victim is about to be body snatched. So this is basically like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or it actually looks a lot like the Faculty, because the Faculty was an actual worm, but it goes into the ear or up the nose, I believe. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff like this, but I truly believe that it's a spiritual thing. Okay, most certainly, because the Vril Prana energy life force thing is something that these beings feed on. And you know that a lot of demonic energies feed on our life force. So this is what this means. It doesn't have, they're not actually drinking our blood. It's symbolic because the life force is in the blood. Now, these Illuminati cult type people will degenerate and pervert it. So this is why they take the combining of masculine, feminine energies, right? The red and the blue, and they literally make it like a physical transgender thing when it is an actual unification of energies within the body. Yeah. So they're doing it in a way that is degenerating it, disrespecting it. It's like the opposite. It's like the upside down of what it's supposed to be. You see, because they can't ever achieve it. So they have to fake it. This is why they need Neuralink. You won't need Neuralink once you have this kind of Christ consciousness. This is what Christ consciousness is. It's when your life forces are lifted to the brain. But more can happen with that. It's just that I think that people have limited themselves for what they believe they can be. You understand? Yeah, I've always believed that I can become a superhero. Didn't know how, but look at me go. And I've been all by myself. Imagine what I could have done with help, right? So I'm going to leave these links for you below so that if you want to read it, you can. But I'm telling you right now that it is not real. Okay? That this is a spiritual thing. Same thing that everyone's been talking about, how demons attach to us and whatnot. Even though I don't like that word, it's a parasitical demon. It is. And there's lots of different kinds of them. They just don't look like this or this. You know what I'm saying? Or this guy here with his reptilian skin and his yellow eyes. You know what I mean? There's even, I should have kept that open, but whatever. Big blue aliens. So, but yeah, this isn't real, you guys. And this has been going around, people making money, and this is sensationalism. Okay? So again, this is what Ishmael Perez said about Elena Danaan. But I know for a fact that she is not replaced. She's the same person she's always been. But her own ego and ambassador alien thing has taken over her own brain to make her think that, like, she's better than the rest of us and higher above, and only she knows, and she speaks for this. This is why she had her little freak out with Michael Sala when he went to go talk to other people, blocked him on Twitter, did this and that, threw a fit, because only she has the information. Only she speaks for the Galactic Federation. And that right there is a huge red flag. If the extraterrestrial husband thing is not a huge red flag, that should be, okay? The shape-shifting thing probably has to do with the mixing of energies with a demonic entity. Now, when you're doing rituals and doing these energy stuff and they are harming people sexually and beating them up and creating these types of energies, this is what creates haunted houses. Bad incidences, right? So this is what they're doing. And they're darkening the spirit so that they can have darker things inhabit the body. As these pacts with demons. So like they may be doing it for other demons. You see, as part of their pact to keep providing human souls or human blood or children or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But most of it, if not all of it, like for this part, is spiritual. Now, this is why they're ruthless, psychopathic, sexually driven, and sadistic. You know, because a lot of times you can only get pleasure from sex. You won't get happiness from other things because they feel so empty. So they have to get it from other sources. This is why a lot of people bully other people online. It's because it makes them feel better about themselves, right? Like people coming onto my page and telling me I've got mental illness and that I need to stop smoking weed and that I need to accept Jesus. For gosh sakes. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you're a demon, but I do think you're an idiot. Yeah, a willful idiot. But you can educate yourself. You see, you can fix the stupid that you have. I did it as well. I used to be stupid too. Remember? I fell for David Wilcock's bullshit at one time. So if I can change, right? So can you. And it doesn't take much. It only takes a Google search to show you the difference of these things. Oh, it is reported that genitalia has an effect on male genitals, leading to the appearance of an underdeveloped wiener. So basically, they're saying that if you've got a small willy, that you must be a drone. You see what I'm saying? Hair loss is reported. Male, oh my God. Anyway, the reason why hair loss and if your skin's changing, age spots, it's because the demon that you're connected to is draining your life force energy. It's going to make you look like the fucking crypt keeper. You're going to look old and looking like shit and haggard all the time. Okay? So, yeah, age spot, skin tags, whatever. So like he says, there is some truth. See, it says here it's an Illuminati ritual. And there is a black eye club, but seriously, they probably just have sex with each other and punch each other in the eye after. They like violence and pain. They don't like love and pleasure and intimacy. They like violence. They like graping. You're not allowed to say the R word, I guess, now. But they like that. It makes them feel powerful, okay? Now, in the spiritual realm, I told you guys this before. I was sexually assaulted spiritually in my bum by a reptilian being, but I couldn't see its head. So I could only see it from the neck down. And I was stuck on my side in my spiritual body. I couldn't move. Just like they tell you in abductions. Whatever they did, they froze my spirit. I couldn't move. I could only move my head and look up over my shoulder a little bit to see what was sexually assaulting me in my bum. And it was one of these things. This is how I knew what David Wilcock was talking about. But he did not have this happen to him in his physical body, in which I am speaking to you right now. Like, hear me clap? This is my physical body. It didn't happen in this body. It happened in my spiritual body. And yes, it's still extremely disrespectful, but they're doing it. It's just like prison. They do that to each other in the bum to assert power. It has nothing to do with pleasure. That's why they do that to other men. So it's the same type of concept because we are in the prison planet, right? Like I said, you have to overcome your beast nature. And once you do, you start seeing the beast in other things. Yes? All right. So this video has already been half an hour. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. We don't really have to look at anything else because it has pretty much everything that it says about this on this one page here on Reddit. Again, I'm going to do a little extra video to add at the end just to show you the examples from Elena Danan's book, okay? Which she has the exact same little chocolate chip thing on the head of the reptilian shapeshifter, and I will show you that, okay? So I thank you very, very much for watching. I hope that you've learned a lot from this and that it helps you and others. And if you find this type of rumor bullshit going around, I would very highly suggest that you tell them about the Klaustrom's oil and put these other words: VRIL, Prana, Energy, Chi, Life Force, Christ, Krishna. It's all the same thing. It is the Holy Spirit. All right. So I greatly encourage you again to watch my Klaustrom's oil video. Oh yeah, Santos Bonacci's new Mr. Astro Theology channel has been given back to him, and I seen it yesterday, and he is so happy, and that's wonderful. But you have to remember that Santos really likes that energy, okay? He likes to be on TV, and he likes that. All right. Now, I'm not exactly judging him because maybe I'll be there at one point, and people will be saying that about me. I don't know. That is not the direction I want to take this. Of course, I would rather just those beings in the ship show up and I'll leave. And then, like, you guys won't ever see me again. It's not to be mean, but it's just that I have other plans with my life. I don't want to be on TV and be famous and all that. I'd rather just move on with my life and be with these people, you know, the ones that came over my building, or like the superheroes that I've always known existed. But these are the Christed beings. These are the solar beings. Okay. So I'm just going to do a quick video on that. I'm going to do solar beings. All right. So, oh boy. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you. I thank you. If you could comment, like, and share my content. People aren't even seeing my comments. I've been leaving comments for weeks now, you guys, and I haven't even gotten a like or a yeah or somebody telling me off. And I've said everything like you could imagine, from one end of the spectrum to the other, and I have not had one reply to one of my comments on other people's channels and stuff. So I'm not sure if my content is being blocked or I'm being like, what's that called? Shadow banned or whatever. But I know that sounds paranoid, but I'm telling you right now, look at the engagement with my channel. And I'm telling you that I just left comments on Stephen Cambion's newest video about Teal Swan. So if no one can fucking see that shit, either he didn't approve it yet, or my comments are just being deleted. I don't know. But I took pictures of it anyway, and I'm going to go back and check later to see if they're there. But I will see them. But if other people aren't seeing them, then I guess someone told me that I may be shadow banned. And I didn't know what the fuck that was. And I had to look it up. So it kind of makes sense to me now. Because I couldn't understand why I wasn't getting any kind of replies. Like nothing. Like not even anybody being like, oh, fuck you. Or anything like that. You know? Like if I said something about, I don't know. I had made a comment about, somebody said about Doug Ford, and I was like, Doug Ford's probably going to make cheesecakes. You know what I mean? And so no one even pressed likes or reply to it. But there's more to it than that. So I sound like a crazy person now, so I'm going to go. But please, I will put that Teal Swan expose that he just did. If you click on it and you can see my comments, please say something under it, because it's starting to bother me. Like, it's making me paranoid because no one's replying to the comments that I've been making. It's been months, you know? So yeah, thank you very much. Please don't judge me for that. If you want to try to prove me wrong, I will give you the link and we will see. Okay? Because I can't understand why, not a single comment that I've left for months has had any kind of response. So that's why I feel like that. Okay? I don't even have any weed right now. I've been out of weed for a couple of days, so I'll be out until the 31st. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you could help me out, like I said, by supporting my content, I would greatly appreciate that, because people need to know this stuff. They need to know the truth. I 100% oppose deception, and this is part of it. I don't believe in deceiving anyone. It does not make me feel powerful whatsoever. It makes me feel sad. Okay, everybody? So I did not stop this at 33 minutes on purpose, but it is 33 minutes, all right? Okay. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to me. Bye! Hi, everyone. So this is Elena Danan's book with her reptilian shapeshifter with the little chocolate chip on his head. Okay? If you see, he has the Ouroboros around his belt, and it's called Naga warrior, okay? Now, with Krishna, Christ, Prana, Chi, energy, life force, the solar beings, are known as Nagas, or the serpent wisdom, like the Ouroboros, yes? So as I was talking about with spiritual rank, it does not matter if you look like that or you look like a human. Your spiritual rank is not determined by what you look like, yes? So you can go from a lower dimensional state to a higher dimension. Work your way up through, going from a demon to an angel. This is possible. This is called raising your vibration, right? Or going up through the stages of soul school. So this is in her book. She mentions adrenochrome and stuff like this, okay? But again, this is the life force of the blood. There could be a thing with that. Like I said, they pervert and degenerate everything, and it's like upside down world. Yes? So I just wanted to add this little part. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about the long necks. Hold on. You see? There's the long neck. Now, and there may be slight differences, but this one is a perfect example. of what we were looking at from the other page. All right? So again, there's another being copied directly from the Alien Book of Races, almost exactly. Okay, I'm going to put this over here because I'm going to try to find the picture that matches it when I edit this video. Okay, so it matches almost exactly to a T, like she copied it, from the Russian Alien Book of Races. Okay, so basically she's taken all the information she can find from everywhere and put it in here to make it look like she knows everything and she's the ambassador and she's the only one with the answers, okay? All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye.